Yeah, good luck.
There we go. Okay. So, do we have... There we go, okay. So, this is going to be Kafe. And let's see who's going to get banned on Kafe. Because operator bans are going to be somewhat different from a map to another. Well, some are obviously going to be remaining pretty universal. For example, Thatcher right here. The one thing I want to underline, for example, is on this map in particular, repelling on windows. So if you want to be on piano or on bar, repel windows. So there is always the possibility of, say, playing a Blackbeard there. That could be pretty important. IQ is going to get banned, however. So that's going to be this. Jumping back in French real quick. Redessus de ta décision pour la Iconic Sport. On aura des débutants pour le fameux fichier. Première fois qu'ils font un tournoi, je trouve ça dommage. Ils ont fait du pour jeu, voici la récompense. Bref, bonne continuation à toi, mais sois peut-être moins strict et essaie de comprendre les personnes. Ouais, Akira, écoute, je comprends absolument. Et puis, tu sais, c'est toujours ça le problème d'essayer d'avoir quelque chose de genre ultra poussé tout en gardant l'expérience assez simple pour, comme tu dis ici, les nouveaux venus en quelque sorte. Et puis tu sais, écoute, je comprends absolument la frustration. Gérer la situation était frustrante, donc tu sais, la vivre ne peut être que pire. Je comprends absolument ça. Et puis j'en suis désolé. Si je devais présenter la chose un petit peu, on va dire comme un agent de police, puis tu sais, mettons que tu arrives, on va dire, puis il y a quelqu'un qui dit « Ah, un tel mec est en train de conduire comme un fou, puis il est un gros danger, puis il n'a pas son permis de conduire sur l'autoroute. » Là, j'arrive, tu sais, j'ai pas vu conduire comme un fou, tu sais, j'ai pas vu le cheat ou l'absence de cheat. Là, j'arrive, je demande « Montre-moi ton permis de conduire, montre-moi tes papiers d'auto. » Puis là, la personne, si elle a rien, peut bien avoir son permis de conduire, peut bien être à 100% légitime, et peut tout simplement les avoir oubliés chez elle, mais pourrait aussi conduire sans un permis de conduire. C'est l'analogie que je ferais qui me force un petit peu à avoir l'approche de coupable jusqu'à la preuve du contraire, qui est chiante, qui est dommage, mais tu sais, de certains côtés, on comprend aussi que des tricheurs, c'est chiant, des tricheurs, c'est dommage, et il faut avoir une attitude assez agressive envers les cheaters, parce que sinon, ils peuvent facilement ruiner le jeu. Regarde juste en multijoueur, de l'avoir en multi... Voyons. Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de dire? Excuse-moi, j'ai passé mon train de penser. Dans le multijoueur comme typique et standard, là, comme par exemple en classé ou même en casual, des cheaters qui vont tricher juste pour faire chier les autres, c'est ultra chiant. Donc on prend une attitude assez agressive envers les cheaters ici. La bonne nouvelle dans cette situation désagréable, c'est qu'au moins l'erreur ne sera pas répétée deux fois. Là. Les deux équipes, j'ai cru comprendre, se sont pris une défaite. Donc les deux équipes vont se rappeler d'exécuter Moss la prochaine fois. Puis ça va être ça va être une expérience d'apprentissage, disons. Ok. Néanmoins, de retour en anglais, parce que les deux teams sont pas francophones. Back in English right here, we're going to be seeing Parsifal with an aggressive line. He's not going to be actively peeking, not actively, you know, breaking down the barricade, so he did not make his position known. And as such, when Pauls wanted to rappel up, he had no clue he was being watched, and that led to an easy kill. The good news in this bad situation is that Bucks's, you know, utility, the shotgun more than anything else, is still going to be, you know, accessible since Gokzi here has a shotgun of his own. It's not, you know, the skeleton key, but it will still do the trick. And same for the frag grenades. DMNK here has the frag grenades, has the potential of getting these cheeky kills by just ricocheting the nade off of an angle, off of a wall, or that kind of stuff. But still, here we see Pitak and Parsifal getting another kill, both of them, so that's now a 2v5 situation. Looking not too good for MindSet, to be honest. So, nice shot, thank you. That's the nice kind of sportsmanship we do enjoy seeing. Zero here is going to be watching the angle, but the unfortunate news is no defender is going to actively peek him. Like what reason would they have to? And that's going to be two different magnets that are going to be eating up those flash grenades. Another magnet eating up another flash grenade. But that's the good news. Now, no magnets remaining. Oh, maybe there still was one, and that was an actual frag grenade. So, unfortunately, you tried to be sneaky, you tried to be cheeky. That did not work out, though they did try their best. And that's going to be another kill. Demon K was able to get a frag on Bailey, but Parsifal got the refrag immediately after. So here we go. I have missed out on too much action to warrant jumping into the replay scene, unfortunately. But the end result is not going to change one bit due to that. So that was a really strong defense coming off from WhiteHound Esports. However, now that they've won that defense, they have to go somewhere else. That somewhere else is going to be Kitchen. So the next logical question would be: are MindSet going to have a better chance of attacking the Kitchen? Are they more, used to attacking Kitchen? Do they have, Kitchen attacking strategies set up, or maybe the other way around? Is WhiteHounds Esports' defense more sophisticated at the top floor than at the bottom floor? All those questions will be answered as soon as this round starts, basically. Yes, thank you. Thank you, moderator. Whew. Yeah, so there is a lot that goes into organizing a competition, and when people try to, when they try to go for these protests, and they try to, get the victories one way or another, they're suspicious, that kind of stuff. It just adds an extra load of pressure. Sorry, an extra load of pressure. And I'm not exactly, a big organization. I have, myself and 2 volunteers who help me out at most. And then some other casters who will want to stream on their own channel. So this does help, but it's not going to having a caster cast a game is not going to organize the competition as a whole. So yeah, I'm being stretched thin here, and every and all help is appreciated. So thank you, Toxic. I don't know if he was in the chat earlier on, but he was definitely present on Discord. So, MindSet. Now, they are still seemingly going for the top-down approach. So even though the objective is at the first floor, you will want to drone out the 3rd floor first. Parsifal and Bailey are in the general area, and so they will want to, cause the attackers to waste as much time as possible. Parsifal not showing, too much resistance though, so he was droned out, not even fired at, and he already jumped down. Won't be in a position to come back up so easily, since we can clearly hear the track stingers. But that was not from the top floor. That was from the from the window right here, who was open, by the way. An easy mistake here coming from Parsifal, if I do say so myself. Bailey, who was his wingman at the top floor, is no longer there himself either. He might be looking into getting the refrag on Powell, who's no longer directly on that balcony. So for right now, the roaming game is going to become a bit more passive. They're just trying to waste time without actively looking for a firefight. After all, the whole name of the game is to waste as much time as possible. They're not going to present themselves to the MindSet team. The good news is you still have the advantage, the numbers advantage here. MindSet now in a 5v3 situation, and that was the last of the hardcore roamers. Let's call him that. Tsanga is in the reception area. He is in a position to cut down anybody who wants to come down the staircase. Same for Petak. But for the time being, the attackers' MindSet are not exactly funding down the staircase. They're playing verticality. Powell here, Gokti, same thing. Using the shotgun to open up the verticality. Ciro as well, trying to work a bit on the Hungarian pronunciation. I don't know if I get this correctly or not, but there you go. Ciro is opening up the hatch, and he just jumped down. Now with 33 seconds remaining, 2 defenders remaining. That's not looking too good for WhiteHounds, but if they play their cards correctly, they might still win this round. Let's just underline the fact that they have very little control of the objectives themselves. Tsanga has a limited line of sight, and Petak has next to nothing. Nice kill here. That was the bearer of the diffuser, an important kill that can pay dividends later on. Petak wanting to come down. He will trade some damage to remain stealthy. he? Will he even try to go for the knife? He will not. Double kill. Nice flick shot here. Unfortunately, the diffuser is actively being planted. Everything's going to come down on Powell's ability to cover his teammate, and that is going to work out. I don't believe that Demon K has been identified. They didn't know the diffuser was actively being planted. So right now, Petak is looking for the verticality. Will he see him a bit more to the right? He's not looking in the right spot. And running like he does, he might end up being identified. He was just not persistent enough because he could have gotten that kill from there. So now Sanga will, of course, know where the diffuser is, and that info will be fed to Petak. Nicely done here. Frag, an immediate refrag though. Smoke now in a 1v1 situation. Petak is going to destroy the diffuser. He's going to attempt it, but it's not going to be easy. He's out of time, and there you go. MindSet Power rushing in. Had no choice but to do so after all. It kind of came close, but MindSet ended up winning the round. So like you guys said, huge round for WHE. The thing is, that second one was a bit closer and did not end up in their favor, unfortunately. I do believe we're going to be seeing like 2 or 3 replays from the previous round. But yeah, it doesn't matter too much. There were still nice replays. So the one thing I clearly could see here was that WhiteHounds' defense at the top floor was stronger than the one in the kitchen area. If I was to generalize this a bit further, or to push the envelope, so to say, I think it came down to the roaming game. Like, when the defenders were at the bar area, nobody was really roaming. You know, you kind of have 1 or 2 defenders by the mezzanine, by the top of the red stairs area. You may have 1 or 2 players. Oh, somebody has left the game. Are we going to have a rehost? Oh, I don't want to have... Okay, they're asking for a rehost. We are going to be seeing a real situation. So, getting back into what I was saying while I work the mouse here. When you're at the top floor, you don't have too many roamers. You're going to be seeing, you know, a few people by the mezzanine. You're going to be seeing 1 or 2 people by the piano area. But that's about it. But then you did have that Jaeger that was roaming downstairs who got the kill on Buck rappelling up, you know, the replay that you guys just saw. But right after that, he ran back upstairs. Whereas here, you did have these roamers by the bar area, at the top floor, generally speaking, who have been flushed out way too early on into the round. And that kind of was a problem. There we go. Our operator bans had been... Echo, IQ, Thermite, and Mira. Okay. Okay. I'll jump into French real quick back again. Je comprends ton raisonnement, mais l'équipe qui devait affronter actuellement savait qu'ils ne trichent pas et voulait jouer contre eux. Ils avaient fait une pré contre eux hier, donc certes, tu ne veux pas de tricheurs, mais Iconic Sport n'ont certes pas fait attention au règlement pour le fichier MOS, mais ils étaient prêts à réparer l'erreur en exécutant le fichier MOS. Pour le reste du tournoi, bref, je trouve vraiment dommage. Bon cast. C'est une situation qui est vraiment embêtante, là. Écoute, il y a pas de bon choix parce que dans ces situations-là, écoute, je comprends absolument ta frustration, là. Un peu. Les noms, l'équipe bleue, c'était MindSet against WhiteHounds Esports. Once again, Esports doesn't fit. Je comprends absolument le raisonnement. La problématique, c'est que c'est ça. Il faut que j'aille le même règlement pour tout le monde. Puis de manière générale, c'est ça. Là, quand tu es mis dans une situation comme ça, il y a pas façon. Ça va frustrer. Ou, ça va être une team contre l'autre team. Puis là, après ça, en tant qu'arbitre, je dois genre choisir une team en quelque sorte qui va gagner. Là, quand c'est très alternant, une situation de proteste comme ça. Donc c'est toujours très tendu, très délicat. Ok. Sorry guys for the English cast right here. Something new seems to have come up for the for the previously mentioned protests. So I'm just trying to get a hold of the admin that kind of managed this, because he seems to have gone offline. We're still missing 8 players, so it shouldn't be too long. Was it Thatcher? Yeah, it was, right? IQ. It wasn't a Thermite, it was a Thatcher. Right. Up. Not Thermite, Thatcher. Where's Thatcher? My bad, guys. Yeah, so I have misindicated this, and map ban, give me half a sec. Here it's not Thermite, it's Thatcher. The other TH operator. There you go. Okay, okay, hey, copier le lien. Copier le lien right here. WhiteHound, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're resuming 1-1.
Yes.
So yeah, good luck, have fun, and may the best team win.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun.
There we go, jumping back into it. Here we go with the correct bans in the overlay this time. There we go. So let me just do the one thing in Battlefy. Because, yeah, the one thing that kind of turned the result of the protest upside down. Who was the hooligan? Widow, I believe. Right? Wait. Am I correct? Okay, yeah. Let me just make sure of one tiny detail in the game in the tournaments. He was a Meister. Okay. Wrong person.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
There we go. Yeah, sorry for the lack of casting real quick right now. Oh. Okay, great.
Door barricaded. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So, yeah. Tuk. Yeah, give me another half a sec. Okay, yeah. Jumping back into it. Sorry for the delay. So, the defense right now is going to be reading. Obviously, let's just cycle through real quick the defenders. So, we do see Pitak right here, who is actively contesting somebody rappelling up here. That somebody will have been... Oh, that was Paul, but there you go, Be My, with the nice angle on that window, who was able to kind of cover his teammate here. Sorry for the hiccups. CPAC is at the top floor also. Actually, a lot of defenders are at the top floor. CPAC and was it Parzival? No, not. Wait, he's alone up here. Okay, whoever was up there with him. So, oh, sorry, my bad. There you go. Okay. So, looking at it, the attackers seem to have a fairly good control of the top floor. Actually, the one remaining defender that was up there was CPAC, who himself has jumped down since. He's still by the pillars area, so he would be vulnerable from the mezzanines, and there seems to be a silhouette right there. But that silhouette does not pay attention. That's going to be Tsira, who is taking a bit of damage. Actually, a lot of damage. He's down to roughly a third of his health. So, he's still alive. He's still going strong, but he cannot ignore the sting of those bullets. So in practice, he's just gonna rotate around, drone out a little, since he's no longer, you know, too healthy. He's not in a position to be the point man for the upcoming assault. But we still have Gotsy, Paul, and Be My, who can fill in those roles. Tsanga getting a nice drop on Gotsy. Gotsy apparently has dropped down. There you go, however. Ash is going to do the same and get the kill herself. But there is going to be a refrag situation coming off from Jaeger. Now, a 2v3 situation. The defenders do have the upper hand, but the diffuser is actively being planted, and Powell is providing accurate covering fire. However, you're still vulnerable from that doorway. He will get the kill, and now the situation has been turned upside down. MindSet won a numerical advantage, and they were able to use it to get their third kill. So they got the 2v3 clutch without losing a player, and I don't even think they took a single bullet. So actually, let me just amend that. They got the 2v3 clutch without losing a bit of health. Okay. Oh, wait. Shoot, I'll have to get into the call with the players.
Oui.
Okay.
Oui.
Oui.
Ouais, c'est bon du coup. On a tous installé Moss dans notre équipe, simplement c'est pas trop comment ça marche.
Donc tu sélectionnes R6 dans la liste des programmes.
Je te fais un partage d'écran au pire. Je te fais un partage
Écoute, là je
d'écran.
suis comme en plein cash, j'ai comme vraiment beaucoup de temps là.
Ah merde, merde.
Oh non, ok, je vois le problème. T'as peu. Comment ça?
Quoi?
Ah, Hooligan, ok. Hooligan, là vous êtes en train de jouer contre Respect, c'est ça?
Ouais, c'est ça.
Ah mince. Bon ben écoute.
Au pire, c'est pas grave. C'est pas
Ouais,
grave,
je suis désolé, trop tard.
on compte aller en face de toute façon, donc c'est pas grave. C'est pas grave.
Donc écoute, globalement, là je suis en cash, donc j'ai pas beaucoup de temps là. Mais globalement, ce qui se passe, c'est que tu vas dans les paramètres globaux, tu fais ça une fois aux premières installations. Tu vas identifier que tu joues à Rainbow Six, donc il va scanner genre les fichiers de Rainbow Six. Puis après ça, juste avant de commencer la partie, tu vas genre démarrer l'enregistrement. Après avoir fini la partie, tu vas arrêter l'enregistrement. Il va générer sur ton bureau.
C'est bon, j'ai capté.
Parfait. Donc, sur ton bureau, tu as un dossier qui va s'appeler Moss. Dans le dossier, tu vas avoir des dossiers compressés, des dossiers zip avec genre chacune de tes séances de jeu. Puis c'est ça, les fichiers anti-triche que tu dois nous faire parvenir.
Et ça, c'est seulement quand on l'active qu'on a ça, ok.
Ouais. Donc, c'est ça, avec ça.
Peut-être que je trouve R6, mais bon.
Je pense genre Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, ou sinon, écoute, après le stream, peut-être que je pourrais aider, mais là, c'est ça, la Hooligan, t'as comme rendu à sa prochaine game de la petite problématique.
Ouais, vous inquiétez pas, c'est pas grave.
Donc, ben écoute, désolé pour ça.
Non, c'est pas grave, c'est pas grave.
Mais écoute, la bonne nouvelle, c'est que là, vous allez le savoir pour la prochaine fois, là. Aussi dommage que ce soit.
Ok, ouais, c'est pas grave.
Ok, donc je vais retourner dans le cast, ok?
Ouais,
Bonne casse.
bon après-midi, bonne game à vous.
Ouais, merci, ben, vous aussi. Et bonne chance, Yuizo, pour ta game.
Bonne chance.
Allez, salut. So, back in English. Wow, okay. All of this for naught. Wow. So we are going to be seeing ourselves in a 4v5 situation. The attackers' mindset seem to be slowly but surely taking control of piano. Like, the only defender that's actually in a position to contest this would be Bailey. Maybe there's somebody in the staircase. So yeah, we do see Tsanga here as well. So he could, you know, walk up the stairs and peek from that angle. But still, Bailey, you know, is closer all around. He has the smoke canister, so he can entirely deny the access to that doorway, which he's exactly doing right now as we speak. And this is exactly why you can see that Mindset are not too eager to push up on that doorway. The good news is, they don't really have to. So if you can get Demon K to use his torch, his infiltration torch on the freezer walls, he could maybe penetrate into the freezer this way. If not, you'll have two choices. Either you kind of actively try to get the kill on Bailey, who will probably be covered by Tsanga. There, Tsanga is actively covering his teammate. Or the other alternative for Mindset would be to do what kind of Ash Bima is doing right here, push the mezzanine instead. They kind of seem to be going for both options, actually all three options at the same time. Somebody's pushing mezzanine, but Parcel is going to get the double kill. That grenade is not going to get the kill. With the shield now being destroyed, he can easily just roam in, and he's now in a good position to get the kill on, I believe it is DMNK. It is Maverick's Silhouette, who has not realized there's a danger behind him, and that's going to lead to a free kill for Bailey. With a 1v5 situation, Paul either has to get the ace or is gonna let... There we go. WhiteHounds win a flawless round. That was kind of a small snowball situation. WhiteHounds were able to get, you know, 1, 2, 3 kills, and that just grew and grew and grew their numerical advantage. From that point on, they used their numerical advantage. They used the upper hand that they had to just even increase furthermore, even more of their advantage, get even more kills. And that just ended up overwhelming the defenders. So let me just get the... we don't have replays here because I only saw 2 kills, so it's not worth jumping into the replay scene. And Marlan Amim, I'm not sure if I've pronounced your name correctly. Love this commentary. That's really appreciated, man. So last round we were bar and the defense has won, so WhiteHounds, the orange team, and we were reading in the third round, and that was won by the blue team. Okay, Mindset had a nice attack 2 rounds ago, to be honest. So looking into it right now, we are going to be in the reading area again. This time the composition is ever changing. The one thing I do notice is that WhiteHounds are not really playing on heavy hitting operators. For example, you know, you could have Maestro, Rook, Doc, Mira. Okay, barring those that have been banned in this current situation, Echo Mira are banned, but you know, Kaid, Rook or Doc, those kind of operators can deal heavy blows, and you know they can just eat up bullets without dying, and that's really powerful when you wanna you know, statically hold an angle. But that does not seem to be the name of the game for WhiteHounds Esport. Like, they're really mobile, really active. Any of these operators has a certain roaming potential. Like, some are more obvious than others. For example, Parzival and Bailey, of course. But, you know, Castle, he can, you know, have a proxy defense, use those castle barricades to force the attackers to funnel into a route that he's predetermined for them to come in from. Petak kind of doing the same thing. He can easily set himself up an impromptu defense simply by virtue of having like 3 shields on his kit. Paul right here is not going to be able to cut off that rotation, though it was a quick one, and you know, human reaction time was not going to realistically allow for that kill to happen. But still, he saw an enemy, didn't fire at him, but he now has seen him, so he has intel. He will know somebody's at the top of the white stairs. Is that a good idea to peek actively that firefight? Apparently not. He's going to be kind of bailing out of there. And the pressure would probably be mounting on the cocktail and bar area, generally speaking. You do see that there are a lot of deployable shields. my mind blanked here. Deployable shields here and there, so you do have a lot of angles where defenders can hang around down behind. Bailey's shields is not destructible at the same time, so his will not just blow up in his face. But the attackers are slowly but surely finding a foothold on the building itself. So right now, Cigar seems to be in Paul's possession. BMI is by Cigar's shop. And we still do see 1 or 2 silhouettes on the roof. So Goxie might try to take the angle by the skylight. But all of this is going to lead us to this current situation with Demon K just coming in, holding the angle, you know, using the shield to protect himself, but at the same time gather intel on his enemy. That shield is destructible. He just does not find the angle. However, that nitro cell is going to deal minimal amount of damage. So all in all, it is pretty negligible. If he rushes in, he knows that shield's going to get destroyed immediately, and that's a big fear of his. Bailey getting a kill on the verticality, and another kill. Apparently, was that Bailey again? No, that was Tsanga getting a nice kill from the verticality. So there you go. Buck can open up the floors, but the defenders can fire back, and they're not going to refrain from doing so. Goxie apparently is somewhat reticent. He seems to be thinking somebody will walk up the red stairs and try to flank the attackers. The real danger seems to be the floor, however. You know, he's gotten a few more bullets to his feet here. DMNK is going to be in a tough spot because there's an opening to his right, an opening to his left. He sees Matsu right here. He's going to try to get the kill. He was close enough to actually get it. Nicely done. But he will have a bit more difficulties to actively, you know, finish up his opponent. Goxie now is on the bomb site, and he's going to be providing crucial covering fire to his teammate. However, the timer has run out, so every and all progression that the attackers were able to make was for naught. Like, had Nomad had the diffuser in her on her back pocket, it could have worked. Planting would have been extremely dangerous, extremely close. But yeah, that's the frustrating thing I have to say as well, because he only needed 2 more seconds. What are 2 seconds when you have a 3-minute round to attack? So, nicely done, but try to make it, you know, a hair faster, and the next round is going to be yours. Nonetheless, we find ourselves now with a 2-3 scoreline. The good news is it's really close. So either MindSet or WhiteHound can end up taking the game, and I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, we might see an overtime situation, and in the current state of the game, I wouldn't be surprised. This, however, if we were to focus on the immediate future, is the last round before the role swap. So this is going to be WhiteHounds' last attempt at defending, and you know, it's going to be MindSet's last attack. Once again, I would consider this map as being fairly defense-sided, so I would consider WhiteHounds to have an inherent advantage in the current state of things. So, keeping that in mind, the tables might turn as soon as the roles actually turn. Till then, however, WhiteHounds Esport are doing something pretty interesting. This wall right here, the freezer wall, is not being reinforced, and we are seeing Petak seems to be actively attempting to hold down to the to hunker down behind that shield in the corridor, and that's going to be interesting because in doing so, first of all, you have greater mobility, but second of all, I was going to say too, but you're saving up a reinforcement. That means you have another reinforcement that you can spend somewhere else. And that somewhere else can be the difference between life and death for, say, a roamer. For example, here, Bailey is not going to be behind any sort of reinforcement or any any kind of preparations that WhiteHound Esport will have erected during the preparation phase. He's going to be taking a bit of damage. He knows he's in a disadvantaged position in a 1v, I think 3. Like, I think there were 3 players on the MindSet that were actively trying to flush him out. So bailing out and, you know, just letting the attackers be is the best thing to do right now. He will be pulling back. He'll be linking up with Parzival, and Parzival here will be kind of covering his angles. So with what's this operator's name? Bailey is playing Vigil. Wow. With Bailey playing Vigil. So Vigil here, look, hunkering down in the reading room, and Parzival was by the dining room. He's no longer there, however. So that's a bit unfortunate, because that's going to be leaving the flank here for Bailey wide open. He does realize, though, that BMI was repelling in. Fails to get the kill, however. That's somewhat unfortunate. And that one drone was Tsanga's drone. So he is bound to be giving intel to Bailey, who is not too eager to pursue an active firefight as of now. He went back down. He might be roaming, or he might be going up the stairs to try for a second time an active roam game, but that doesn't seem to be the case too much. So BMite right now is kind of ready to jump down alongside his teammates. So you do see the attackers kind of funneling down here. They were in perfect control of the top floor. Now they're in a pretty good control of the second floor. Like, I don't see any roamers right here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nope. Every and all defenders are actively downstairs. So with 53 seconds remaining on the clock, this is going to be the beginning of the attack on the objective itself. The first the first item on the to-do list is, of course, to open up the floor. That's going to be Buck going at it. You also have, for example, Ash right here, who'll be using her utility to also create lines of sights. Hers is not too good, so she's not going to get any kill. But destroying those bandit batteries is going to be fairly important if you want Thermite to open up the reinforced wall. However, he will have to remain alive against Bailey. And Bailey has taken a significant amount of damage. He's really low health, actually. Like, one bullet might be the end of him, but you only need one hit point to be able to get the kill. That kill, however, is not going to happen. So there you go. Zero now in a position to open up the reinforced wall, but he's not going to do so. He wanted to run through the smoke, but he was too weak to do so. Now in a 2v3 situation, 4 seconds remaining. Godsey, last operator alive. Heavy pre-fires, has to peek it. Had no choice but to do so, and that turned out to be his doom. Once again, the time ended up being their doom. WhiteHound Esport are just able to slow down the attack and to cause them to lose so much time that it ended up not being worth it. So once again, same thing as last round. Attack just the same that you did, because this attack was looking pretty good, but do it a split second faster and your chances of winning the round are going to be so much better. Laisse-moi saluer à toi. Comment ça va? But with all that being said, this was the 6th round. This is now the halftime moment, and we're seeing a 4-2 score line. So this is what you'd consider fairly even-sided. And the last question I really have is, will MindSet be in a position to win out as many rounds on defense as WhiteHound did? Because should the answer be yes, well, we will see an overtime situation. Should the answer be no, well, WhiteHound only have 3 rounds to win. It's not a small amount of rounds, it's not gonna happen in the blink of an eye. But still, the blue team here does not have a big margin of error to play with. 1 or 2 rounds lost to a simple or unfortunate mistake is going to lead to a match point situation, and from there on, it could be really difficult to come back. So let's just hope, for their sake, that such a situation doesn't end up happening. And let's talk a bit about the composition. What I really like to take a look at is, are any new operators or any new playstyles going to be brought forth simply because you have a role swap. So, for example, MindSet, they are playing Kaid with Diamond K playing Kaid, but on WhiteHound, nobody was playing on this operator. So this is going to be breathing a puff of fresh air into the game. Whereas for the attackers, we do see Parzival playing Montaigne. Montaigne is not really an unheard of operator, but he's not exactly a main on every team, Really, the one operator I haven't seen before is Zofia. And Zofia, though she has a really good all-around kit, she doesn't exactly have a really unique kit. And as such, the meta or the playstyle for the attack is not going to change drastically. The one thing that's going to be new is, once again, the ability of electrifying the hatches and of protecting them. Powell, once again, or playing just like WhiteHounds were playing when they were defending and roaming at the top floor. Receiving a single drone and not contesting it any further than that, dropping down immediately in order to play for time. However, right here, we do see WhiteHounds kind of ready for that. So, CPAC is here on the roof, or on the balcony, should I say, and he was kind of ready for Paul to jump down. Unfortunately for him, Powell didn't jump down in front of him, so CPAC is not going to get a kill, but that does not matter too much, since we see Bailey here taking care of that technicality. And unlike WhiteHounds, Powell seems to have been the one and only roamer. So right now, it's exactly the same thing as before. With roughly half of the round remaining, the pressure is going to start to mount on the objective itself, beginning with Buck. Probably Zofia might want to pitch in, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And Godsey getting the kill on Thermite out of all operators. So hard breaching capabilities now pretty much off the board for WhiteHounds, and as such, I would assume verticality is going to get so much more important, because their movements are now going to be fairly predictable. Like, you cannot open up a new wall, so what are you going to do? You're going to have to come down the stairs, for example. And as such, getting a few kills through the verticality before coming down said predictable stairs would be really important. They don't seem to be going at it too hard though, so you can see Tsanga here dancing at this in the stairs. Sipak trying to sneak his way up to the defenders, but there we go. He's actively being expected by Kafe, who was himself outflanked. Nicely done by Tsanga. Nice teamwork, but that's not the end of it. You still have a few more defenders, especially Bimai, who is absolutely waiting, holding the angle like a hawk. The pre-fires were a bit premature, though. He's going to reveal his position without getting the kill, unfortunately. Bailey getting the frag on Zero. Now the defenders are kind of being pushed back on the objective itself. Bimai here knows there's somebody there. He goes for the pre-fire with the peek. Doesn't work out too good for him. Goxi now last operator alive. He sees the Zofia getting the nice kill on Sipak, but it's Zofia. She can put herself back up. She will do so. Diffuser's actively being planted, and that was not gonna cut it. WhiteHounds eSport winning the 7th round. There you go. Tsanga kind of always keeping in movement, so he did not want to risk being a stationary target. But he was still keeping a good line of sight on the objective, so he knew exactly what was going on. And that kill was really important too. It was kind of the linchpin of the strategy at this point, because you had, I believe, Buck planting somebody. I'm no longer sure. Yeah, it was Buck planting, I believe. So Buck was planting the diffuser, and with Sipak down, it was essentially a 1v1 situation. Buck once again didn't have his gun in his hands, and Sipak was down in the first place. So had Tsanga been bested by smoke, or had Tsanga not been able to adequately cover his teammate, that would have been an unfortunate event, where the defense would have been in a really good position. All things considered, that did not happen, unfortunately, and we are now seeing a 5-2 situation. This is now starting to be pretty worrying if you're a MindSet fan or supporter, because, you know, coming back 2 to 4, 2 rounds, it's not the end of the world. It's not too difficult. It is, you know, a task to accomplish, but it's not an insurmountable one. Now that you have a 3 points deficit, it's a bit more worrying. And imagine if WhiteHounds were to win this attack. 2 to 6 scoreline, a 2 to 6 scoreline, should I say, is next to impossible to come back from. So let's just see what this round has in store for us. Kafe now this time playing with Alibi, and well, you'll get that rotation hole. It's just a matter of time. But in the meantime, yeah. So Alibi is going to be the new operator, or the new addition to the game right here. And Bailey apparently getting the bait on somebody. Somebody was right here. No, where was that player? I could not tell you. To be honest, but Paul is going to be bested. I don't even have time to swap into Godzi's perspective. He's already being dealt with. So right now he's going to go for... Oh, nicely done. Bimai with... aggressive free fires, aggressive wall bangs, but you know, that's how you get the kills. You just roll the dice, you know, off and off, and for long enough, and eventually they will land in your favor. Zero here, if he goes for that rotation, will be exposed to a hatch, but that does not matter. He will get the kill on Parzival. Just put him down, but you know, getting the frag, the proper frag, is a technicality at this point, and he gets it. Oh, there was Paul, so he must have been rappelling up the main window here, on the main wall, and pre-firing through the window. Now, a 2v3 situation is not looking too good for MindSet, but they're still in a relatively good position, you know, technically speaking. Like, Zero has a nice cover on the objective. He still has a lot of angles to hide behind, not too exposed to different windows. There's that window, granted, but, you know, he doesn't have to peek it. Kafe, sorry, kind of in the same position. He can easily just peek a little to the right side, and then he's going to have a good line of sight on the mezzanine area of the map, which would in turn be in a good position to cut off any and all push. There you go, Bailey getting bested by Zero. That's unfortunate. Kafe now feeling empowered. He's peeking a bit more aggressively. That's going to leave us with a Petak who's pretty exposed. Though granted, he's not actively looking, or he wasn't actively looking at the piano area. But Sipak is not in a good position. It was not, at the very least, in a good position himself. You know, he was rappelling in the on a window at the other side of the building, and the thing is, he couldn't do much from there. He was never going to rappel in. That would have been a death sentence for him. So he had no choice but to rotate. Now that the two attackers are linked up together, it would be time for their final push. The one's going to watch the backside, the other one's going to actively push in. So it's going to be drawing a two individual 1v1 situations. But there behind him, there was Alibi who gets the kill. Petak now 1v1 1v2 with 29 seconds. He still has the time to, you know, get the kills, or he's not too stressed out, and he was able to sneak up on his opponent unnoticed. He aimed for way too long for Tsuro to have actively noticed him. So diffuser is now being planted. It's a bit too far away for DMK to be hearing that. I don't assume there was any intel being fed, because he did not actively try to deny the plant of the diffuser. Though there is a Valkyrie in play here, so I don't know. That flash is bound to be wasting a lot of time. These pre-fires, Pitak clearly showing he doesn't know where his opponent is, because he would have wall-banged the heck out of that bar area. But now the two operator players seems to have rotated. Now the defender is by the diffuser area, but Pitak is not going to peek that. Pitak knows the time is in his favor, and as such, he'll just waste as much as possible. So clearly, Demon Kid does not know where Pitak is. Pitak himself has also rotated. Wow, both players kind of missing each other by mere inches, time and time again, and it's already won at this point. The countdown was at 4 seconds. Demon Kid could no longer win that round, and as such, WhiteHounds Esport are in a match point situation. That's not looking too good. So there you go. Match point. That's pretty worrying, because the blue team mindset are supposed to be in their strong point here. They're supposed to have the easy task of defending. And they were doing a pretty good job at it at the beginning. You know, for example, Bailey's wall bang through the window. And there you go, Tsuro holding off the pressure on Parseval and on Bailey further on, I believe. But then, the remaining defenders, the remaining attackers, sorry, kind of went into try-hard mode. They said, okay, we're slowly but surely losing this. We're losing players in an unsustainable rate. Let's just turn this upside down. And that's exactly what they did. Actually, Pitak kind of just got the clutch, to be honest. Like, you had DMK in the piano area. He was able to get a kill unnoticed, and he was also, but then, you know, Pitak was able to sneak up on the other defender who was on the bomb side itself, getting a nice kill, planting the diffuser, and from there on it was just, you know, a dance with neither players seeing each other. So once again, this is a match point situation. The only thing I could hope for MindSet is to win this round right here. The good/bad news is they've just played here, and as such, WhiteHounds Esport, they kind of know what to expect. They kind of know what kind of offense, what kind of defense, sorry, MindSet are playing, and so they know where to expect those reinforced walls, the EDSs to be, the alibis to be, Valkyrie cams, all that good stuff. So this would make the defense pretty, you know, predictable, and Paul was right here but does not seem to be too eager to actively attempt to get the kills. That natural side could have gotten a frag had it been better timed, but there you go. It's a numbers game, and that time, you know, the stars weren't aligned, so to speak. However, that kind of looks good, or that's at the very least encouraging if you're a MindSet fan, because you see them trying these things and being really aggressive. For example, BMI's Natural Cell, or here DMNK getting the first kill. So they're not going to be just, you know, falling back or just saying, okay, we cannot get the kill, just fall back and fall back and fall back. That's not sustainable. You have to actively be on the offense at some point. And that's exactly what we're seeing. The unfortunate news is Tsanga was able to get a kill on DMNK. So right now we have nobody in the piano area. Tsanga is not repelling in, though. It would be safe to do so, and Parseval being Montaigne, he does need some sort of cover, because he's not going to get the kills on his own, or at the very least you wouldn't expect him to. Okay, he still has a gun, but he has a fairly low say firepower. He is way too loud to make it to Paul unnoticed, but there you go. Your Paul is not really looking his way. So if Montaigne was to have a proper timing here, there you go. If he makes it into the bathroom itself, he would be you know, invulnerable to the white stairs, or he would be you know, exposed to white stairs, and then he could just get the kill on Paul. Paul, who's once again juggling between 2 or 3 different angles, so he's not being extra cautious about Parseval. But problems are definitely going to show up from this other angle since Tsanga has dropped down from the hatch since and is kind of actively looking into the objective. Pitak opening up that wall will force Paul to get a move on. He is falling back, and that could be good news for Montan, who once again is not overly aggressive. He kind of wants to get the intel. He's kind of just seeing where his opponents are, not really actively attempting to get the kills. But the thing is, you had a Valkyrie in the white stairs, which he never got to see. And as such, there we go. Tsanga now, last operator alive in a 1v3 situation. 30 seconds remaining on the clock, so it's not a dire situation. But, you know, it's still 1v3. And there you go. Valkyrie, who was previously unnoticed by Montang, will be unnoticed by Tsanga, by Nomad herself as well. And that is going to be another round 1 for the blue team, who are not giving up just yet. There we go.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has
So yeah, this is somewhat unfortunate. I'm missing out on too many kills. And what I would say is I have a hard time kind of figuring out or wrapping my head around the both teams' strategies, because as such, if I cannot you know, predict what's going to happen, I'm not going to be in the right position at the right time. So I kind of like this this game so far, simply because it keeps me on edge. I don't know what's going to happen, and I do love that. Granted, you know, of course WhiteHounds do have a huge lead so far, so of course WhiteHounds aren't definitely at odds of winning it so far. But they don't yet have 7 points, and a comeback, any clutch situation is always possible, no matter how unlikely it is. Plus, well, I just like the general playstyle. Once again, they keep me in the dark, and that's quite beautiful, I have to say. Once again, however, we will be not just reinforcing the bottom floor, but also the very top floor. Here at the top of red stairs, DMK wants to reinforce that general area. But he seems to be the only one to set up a proper top floor defense. As we're going to be seeing here, I cannot move to the right anymore. That map is stupid, I have to say. From the outside looking in, because I cannot move anymore to the right, because if not, I'll have the face. I have my POV in that building on the other side of the street right there. So the problem is, I cannot get a proper or a good look at some areas of the map in the third-person perspective, which I kind of dislike. With that being said, with all that out of the way, the defense is quite interesting. So you do have a few castle barricades here and there, and with that wall being reinforced, I'm not exactly sure what the point is. So I would assume it kind of forces the attackers to funnel themselves into this opening, but there's nobody like holding the angle. Plus, there's a castle barricade here, so if there's a castle barricade here, what's the point of reinforcing this wall? I have a hard time figuring out exactly what the idea, what the logic was, but I feel like the point is, don't make it too easy for the attackers to come in through the first floor, and that's going to cause them to do exactly what they're doing here. Go once again for the typical classic top-down approach. Said top-down approach is actually happening without any surprises, and this is exactly why you want to be extra, say, passive as a roamer. Like DMK here was holding an angle, he's been drawn out, he's been wallbanked, and he's lost roughly half his health, which is why as soon as a drone comes into his line of sight, he might be tempted to jump down, but said jump down might be actually cut off. Because right here, Bailey is looking at the camera, but he could just as well be looking at, well, the railing to see who wants to vault over that. He is currently cloaked. He will lose his cloak while he destroys his drone, and that's going to reveal his position, leading to Bailey getting a kill. So you also had Powell in the general area, who will himself run down, but he is barely not running right into Sipax's ADS, or line of fire, should I say? Yeah, ADS, that's not the right thing. Line of sight. And Paul is not just running away like a scared cat. The thing is, he was tagged by Jackal, so being too aggressive in such a disadvantaged position is going to lead to him dying by Tsanga's hand. Now a 3v5 situation, that doesn't look too good. That does not look too good one bit. But the remaining players are not going to give up either. So Tsuru here in the main corridor, kind of ready to hold on the corridor itself. He can easily turn around and cover anybody who wants to jump down the hatch and all that good stuff. Gokti is on the objective itself, and Bimai would be the proxy defender here. He seems to be tempted to go on a roam to come up the stairs, but there was a drone who just came down from that angle. So rushing directly into your opponent might not be the best idea ever, but we just heard a goo mine that was above. That must have been there. Got Sanga, who was a little bit shortly come down. In the meantime, however, attackers are already on the objective. But Thermite had no idea he was there, and that's gonna lead to a double kill. Nicely done. B-Mike got a kill, got not a kill, but a down, but not out. Who will not be revived, but that doesn't matter because Saipak got the kill on Goxie. Kind of blanked out there. I was not sure what had happened. But there you go. Once again, that's the thing. Like, Thermite didn't know that Smoke was on the objective, and then that was kind of a refrag situation. Smoke didn't know that Sophia was on the objective, and as such, well, that's going to be the end of the game, and a fairly decisive victory for WhiteHound Esports. So these are the points. These are the kills. You can see Tsanga was the top fragger for his team. Pitak here had gotten a nice clutch, but he didn't get too many kills himself. But once again, it's a team oriented game. So being the absolute top fragger in and of itself isn't worth too much. If say your allies die all around you, and if say you lose control of the objective and that kind of stuff. So nicely done. And all I can say is GG to WhiteHounds.
Bomb has been located. Attacker's bomb diffuser
Okay.
has been dropped.